What's up, guys? I am a hot dog today, and I've been wearing this around the house this whole morning, and Yes was like, you should just wear it the entire day. It's Halloween when I'm filming this. It's probably not gonna be Halloween when I'm uploading this, so not really sure how relevant this will be at that point, but hope you guys had a great Halloween. I am Halloweeny. Get it? Anyways, today's video is gonna be all about the face and how to get a very flawless finish without getting flashback. So I get this question a ton through DMs, through comments and everything on my Instagram because I actually take a lot of photos with flash photography, and I feel like I've gotten down to a little science, okay? I know exactly what to use, how to use it, how to apply it to not get flashback and to save my photos when people are using flash photography. It doesn't look super white under there. If you guys don't know what flashback is, because somebody asked me that the other day, so let me just do a brief explanation. It's pretty much when you're taking flash photography and you have white or, you know, it's really, really light under your eyes. That's what flashback is, because it's basically the makeup flashing back, like reflecting back on itself from the flash of the camera. So scientific, I know. But yeah, so today that's what we're gonna be focusing on. And if you guys have ever seen my tutorials that I do for beginners, it's basically gonna be similar to that, where it's like super in depth, how to step by step, all the products, all my tips, all my tricks. And yeah, I'm gonna take this off though because I'm kind of getting hot under these lights a little bit, you know? Just really quickly before we start, I did go in with primer already just because that part's like not that important for flashback purposes. The only thing that I will say is you do not want to use any products, but even primers, no primers with SPF for nighttime flash photography anytime you're getting your photo taken. During the day, obviously SPF and primer is good because it does help to further protect your skin from the sun, but whenever you know you are gonna be taking flash photos, skip the SPF in any product, like whether we're talking about foundation, primer, concealer. I don't know if concealers ever have SPF, but whatever it is, no SPF for flash. See what I'm saying? Don't think I'm saying don't ever use SPF, because SPF is obviously essential during the day, just when you're using flash. Just differentiate those two. But the primers that I used, I mixed these little two to create a little primer cocktail. So I went in with the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir, which is an oil. So I put that on the outer perimeter, and then the Dermalogica Hydra Blur primer for the middle of the face. And when it comes to foundation, you definitely need to find something that you feel comfortable with, no matter what the finish, no matter what it is. Find something that you are personally comfortable with, that you know can kind of like stand your ground, but nothing with SPF. Y'all, Mount Everest is quaking. Look at this mountain on my cheek. I normally would go with a foundation that's a little bit more on the warm side for my skin tone, because I feel like when I do take flash photos, it doesn't get washed out at all. And I'm just gonna say this one more time. I know I've said it a couple times, but no SPF, okay? SPF is one of the biggest causes of flashback because there's an ingredient in it. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. If I can think of it, I'll maybe put it on the screen or definitely in the description box. But there's an ingredient that literally causes that flashback in sunscreen. So I'm gonna take that and press this foundation into the skin with my blender. First and foremost, before concealing, we have to also cancel out the discoloration. So I'm just going in with a color corrector and patting that underneath the eye area to cancel out those dark purple shades. And we're gonna go straight into concealer. So with concealer, a lot of people like to do that super highlighted and contoured look, which I do love, but for flash photography, you definitely do not want to go too light with your concealer because that can just add to the too bright under eye area, you know what I'm trying to say? So I would suggest about 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation is perfect, and you don't need to go any lighter than that. All right, so I'm gonna go right underneath the eyes with this guy. This is the Covergirl TruBlend Undercover Concealer in M300. And you see how when this blends out, it doesn't look too bright under the eyes, it just looks like a natural concealer. highlighter situation. If you do want just a little bit more brightness, then what you can do, I'm taking Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Macadamia. You can just take this and put this right next to the inner tear duct, but you do not want to drag a brighter concealer all the way down in the triangle because you will see that in the photos. So I'm just gonna press that in, and this is perfect if you do have darker under eyes like me. You just need that extra bit of brightness without making it look crazy. I'm quickly just gonna sculpt out my face with a little bit of cream contour, and then we're gonna move to the most vital part of this entire tutorial, which is powder. I feel like when you're getting into makeup, it can be kind of intimidating to find the right powder, especially for baking, but I highly recommend baking because it almost acts like a barrier between your makeup and your skin. It holds, wait, no, rewind. It acts as a barrier for your makeup to last on your skin. That's what I meant to say. It really improves the wear time of concealer and foundation and anything you put underneath. You definitely want to find the right powder. So you don't want to use anything that's completely white. Sometimes powders are like marketed or labeled as translucent, but if they are white, there's a good chance that they are gonna cause flashback, and I have learned that the hard way. Okay. And I'm talking like fully white. Like I'm not talking like a cream, like an off-white. Like those are actually doable. I'm talking when it's like full on, full white. And just putting this out there is a difference between translucent setting powder and HD finishing powder, or whatever, finishing powder in general. Those are two different things. Do not try to bake with a finishing powder because the feeling of it, the formula, is a lot thinner, so it doesn't actually adhere as well as a setting powder. So look for a setting powder, look for something that is not completely white. Depending on your skin tone, obviously, it can range what color works best for you. You know, they have stuff that's like a very light off-white. They also have been making things that are more like caramel colors, banana colors, beige colors. So there are a lot of options. Fenty has a lot of amazing options as far as different colors for their setting powders. I do really like Ben Nye setting powders. They have like the infamous yellow one. Obviously, Laura Mercier translucent is like it's kind of iconic in the translucent setting powder area. And even this, it's not completely white, okay? When I'm talking white, I'm talking white as this. Like, there's a difference here, you know what I'm trying to say? So just make sure you're not going for anything white, but even Laura Mercier will work. I'm a huge fan, like I said, of this Ben Nye brand, and I usually use the shade Cameo when I use this one. But the one that I have been reaching for the most is actually from Elcie Cosmetics. So this is their translucent powder, and they have a light to medium shade and then also tan to dark. I'm not sure if they have one other shade as well, but what I do is I actually mix these two together. And I know that sounds like a lot of work, but trust me, when you experience what I've experienced with flashback, you will go to any measure to not get flashback. And I've really found that this little combo is the best because it's a great formula. It stays really nicely. It's nice and gritty on the skin, but it makes everything smoothed out, makes everything hold. And because I'm mixing these two, it creates like the perfect match for my skin tone. And then I'm just gonna mix these together with my blender. Get nice and into the cap. Just make sure everything is nice and set. Once you set your concealer, it ain't moving, so you want it to be as smooth as possible. So you just want to lightly press this into the skin, under the eyes, and then down towards the smile line. And you honestly do not need too much. You don't have to bake where there's like powder all over your face, like excess powder everywhere, because that can cause flashback too if you're using too much powder, no matter what powder you're using. So you just want to make sure it creates that nice smooth layer. And then also right here in the T-zone, I tend to get oily, so I will bake there as well. And I love it because do you see how this just looks so natural? It doesn't look like a stark white baking powder under the eyes. That is what we want. Lately, I've also been carving out my cheeks with that. I don't know how that's gonna work with this little Mount Everest what I've been doing is going like this, really lightly with my blender once again. Ooh. And you wanna let that baking powder sit on your skin for a good amount of time. I would say I usually do about like 2 to 3 minutes. If you have skin that's more on the dry side, you may want to lessen that time. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you have oilier skin, then you may want to increase that amount of time. But while I let that sit, I actually go in with my bronzer and my blush so I can still get other aspects of the face done while the baking powder works its magic and sets everything down. And then for highlight, this highlight is freaking everything. It's so fire. It's Artist Couture Conceited. It's almost like a rose gold shade to me. It's so pretty. I've been obsessed with it. If you have a pop and highlight, it takes the emphasis off of other things. Do you know what I'm trying to say? For me, I have this little, this little guy on my cheek. So if I put that highlight on, it's gonna highlight this area and almost take the attention away from Mount Everest. But same thing goes for, flashback purposes. If you have a pop and highlight, like that gets the attention. So first and foremost, before we go to that, you just wanna take that excess powder, any excess that you have, and gently wipe it off. Be very careful not to wipe off whatever's underneath. Right now I'm grabbing my highlight brush. All right guys, so those are my tips and tricks on how to not get flashback. And I thought I would just show you guys some examples when I take flash photography. This is the G7X, what I used to vlog with, and I just have it set to automatic. Ooh, no flashback. I'm just getting a really nice, like, brightened and smooth effect. I don't know why I'm still even taking photos, and I mean, it does also depend on like lighting conditions as well. You know what, let me just try with the lights out. All right, so this is as dark as it can get. I do have a window over there. That's why we're getting like a little bit of light. Let's just see how this does. No flashback, woo! Literally, it just looks so bomb. It's so smooth out. I think you guys are gonna be shook at like how smooth it looks, but not like bam, flashback. All right guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Of course, with any of my like how-tos or beginner tutorials, like I really want them to be helpful for you guys. So let me know if they were. Comment down below, leave me any suggestions for anything else you guys wanna see from me, and I love you guys so much. I don't know what that was, but love you guys, and you are beautiful inside out. And I will see you next time.